speak a little bit.
Demi Simpson at the Waffle House.
Oh no. This actually sounds a lot better than usual.
Surprisingly. Should we just...
Record on the floor?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So if we sound not terrible, it's because we're on the floor right now, on the carpet. Ian was like cleaning out his room. We don't recap over what happened the previous episode because we always forget. And we're going to have to do that for this time because all that lost footage.
I can't even remember what we talked about.
So Lee was going to smuggle Makoto out of there because he gave
I remember the story, but I just can't remember what we what our conversations were.
Yeah, so
and, I'm seriously, we lost one of our good recordings there with good commentary, or at least I think.
So I guess the TLDR for that long ass Hero Factory rant for me was I should have bought less heroes, more villains. The series peaked at 4.0, the breakout, and then everything else was just terrible.
Who do you think had the best? Which villain do you think had the best design? Because I think Von Nebula takes it specifically for his legs. That sounds weird and could be sexual, taken out of context. But seriously, Von Nebula's legs were cool because they actually they actually had like moving parts.
Oh, like the pistons.
Yeah, they had like that piston sort of look to it.
For me,
his arms were shit. His arms were absolute shit, but
okay.
The legs were really cool.
For me, it's a little hard to say. I think my favorite villain would have to be probably the Core Hunter from the breakout
I did get
line.
Core Hunter.
Core Hunter was badass. I wish I got that. How much of Gen 2 Bionicle did you ever get into at all, if any?
What would Gen 2 be considered?
It's the 2015. Oh, with the CCBS Bionicle.
2015 Bionicle?
Yeah, the reboot that failed almost.
I don't
hideously.
remember anything about that.
Really?
I didn't know that was a thing. The only most recent Bionicle thing I know is the really sort of cute looking Bionicle that was just made out of regular Lego pieces.
No.
That was memed about.
Oh, that one sack of shit with the googly eyes.
Yeah, that.
The insult to an entire culture. That abomination. Yeah, fuck that thing.
That's the only thing that I know for sure.
Okay, well,
about anything Bionicle related somewhat recently.
it's a big shame because the Gen 2 Bionicle actually had so much potential, but it was completely half-baked. As a whole, I'd say Gen 2 Bionicle, at least the first wave of Toa, are by far the best Bionicle toys or sets we've ever gotten. Can't even compare.
Sadly, they'll never bring back any sort of Hero Factory or Bionicle stuff ever again.
Probably not for a while.
Because,
I did manage to get all 6 Toa, and I wish I could have gotten at least one Uniter Toa set between Tahu and Ikir, because that one just looked epic. But then, well, the story was, and the lore was just super, super half-baked.
Yeah.
So it got canned partway through the second season. And I was just so sad. It was also before I had a job, or I had any, disposable income, so I couldn't just buy up all the sets that I wanted.
Yeah.
Big Sag.
What is cool is with the whole Hero Factory pieces. I'm just gonna call them that.
Oh come on, it's more than just. It's
all right. Then how should I call them?
It's called CCBS.
CCBS. All right. I will say, they did use the CCBS for Darth, for other stuff. They used it to make. I think they made 3 DC CCBS figures.
The DC and the Marvel.
I got all 3 of those. Well, my dad got the Joker, and I got the Batman and the Green Lantern one. Batman looked Joker was interesting, and Green Lantern was kind of cool.
Yeah.
They also made Marvel ones, but I never got those.
I think the superhero CCBS ones were pretty bad, except Iron Man because, well,
It's Iron Man.
the most like a robot.
Though they did use CCBS for like Star Wars stuff.
Oh yeah,
They did make some cool. They actually did make some cool stuff.
I think
with it.
the CCBS Star Wars was some of the best and worst CCBS had to offer. Because all the figures that don't have human faces looked great, but all the ones that do just really they look like mannequins.
Yeah. But like the Darth Vader one was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Kylo Ren was cool. Now I think my favorite out of the Star Wars CCBS is I think like a snow stormtrooper.
Oh yeah, the snowtroopers from the Solo movie.
Yeah, those. That was actually cool. Like the head sculpts that they made for those were really cool.
Even
and honestly worth buying them for.
The First Order stormtroopers and the Praetorian Guard, those are also pretty nice. There was actually one idea that you reminded me I had. This is something that I think Lego should have done. It would have made them a shit ton of money. I know it would have for me. So kind of like Hero Factory, it would have been nice if there was like a CCBS thing, but entirely for clothes. Oh. Something that I think Lego should have done was Hero Factory, but with clone troopers. If they just printed out a shit ton of different clone trooper designs in CCBS,
people would buy.
Yeah, and you could easily just build and customize your own clone troopers. I would have bought a fuck ton of those if that was a thing. Hey Lego, if you ever need ideas, you're welcome.
So you know Lee's plan? Lee's plan at just killing that one decoy girl?
He left an imposter!
I hate reading that.
What about it?
I hate reading the whole... Like, her face was caved in.
Oh.
Because, like, I'm just imagining that.
I mean...
And that's never anything you want to think.
I mean, I've seen worse. You hear about the Xanax chimp?
Xanax chimp?
Yeah, some woman in the U.S. had a pet chimp that was going berserk, so she fed it tea laced with Xanax, and it went completely berserk on one of her friends.
Oh no!
And just ripped her face apart.
I don't understand why people would keep chimps.
Yeah, not the chimp. If you see a chimp, shoot it down on sight. Use up your entire clip on it. No discrimination.
Unless you're keeping the chimps in like a nature reserve, fine. But if you're keeping them like somewhat like they go into your house, like you can let them go in your house. If you're doing that, you're insane. I'm putting
an order in. Court martial every chimp you find.
Especially if you have multiple chimps. Cuz that's a real problem.
So, yeah, I saw the photo of the victim and fuck, just
looked like something you would find on Live Leak.
Her face is just... When the doctor said her face was like...
Did she live?
Yeah, but I think she regrets surviving. But her face was like...
Oh no.
95% gone. Will you not grab the woman? I'm trying to tell the story about the Xanax chimp.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn into a shrimp. Or like, I'm going into shrimp position.
Have you... I only sit shrimp mode when I'm in a gaming chair. Otherwise... Are you just like... Have you never sat on the floor, ever?
Well, I sit on the floor. It's just that, like... I'm instinctively, like, going... Like, I'm putting my arms, like, on my legs with, like, the controller in hand. And it's just, like, sort of normally going like this. I really go into shrimp mode, like, if I'm playing a game that requires the keyboard. If that's why I also kind of like having a controller, because with a controller you can easily just lay back, have the controller anywhere, and just play.
I swear, people that play keyboard and mouse are sociopaths.
I mean, with keyboard and mouse, you can be a lot.
You enjoy sitting like a shrimp or they
have like very good control of not becoming a shrimp, or they just like pull their keyboard like just all the way up to their stomach, which I can't really do that.
Yeah, I prefer controller because it's just easier to move around and
Though the thing is, like, there are some games I will always prefer mouse and keyboard.
Such as?
Minecraft,
Okay, well,
because precision. Like, it's a lot more comfortable if I use a controller. I think I tried using a controller with Minecraft a couple times.
okay, Minecraft on controller
I'm not sure if I got working.
doesn't
It's
feel
comfortable,
right.
but it's not as. But I like on how more precise it can be with the mouse.
Okay, but Minecraft is the exception for me. Otherwise, I'm pure controller.
There is also Terraria, because, like, with Terraria, it's 2D Minecraft. I'm sure some people might get triggered at that sentence.
Okay, well, I don't play Terraria, so...
But dumb joke, whatever. But, like, in Terraria, there's, like, so many blocks, and they're, like, much smaller.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I need that precision with a mouse and keyboard. And then there's also a game that I'm recently playing, V Rising, great game, go play it. You're basically a vampire trying to regain power, and you build your own castles, and it's got like a sort of Diablo sort of gameplay, and I've been enjoying it a lot. I tried looking to see if there is like if I could play the game with a controller, but sadly the developers of V Rising, they have said that they aren't planning on putting controller controls. They're not planning on it. Sadly, I'm a little sad that they aren't, but I kind of understand, because like Diablo, I think, is like more meant to be played with mouse and keyboard.
What are your thoughts on like game piracy? I ask because I just saw some ordinary gamers video on like the ethics of piracy, and like for me, I'll pirate if I like don't have any other option.
Yeah.
I can't like get a game from a legit place, or if just like the Adobe suite, getting the pirated version is more stable than getting the legit version. Because like if Nintendo could like re-release,
I just pay for Adobe. I just don't.
Because like, if Nintendo could like re-release a shit ton of Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance
there has been a
games.
rumor.
If they did that, then yeah, I'd be willing to pay for it legit. But since it's not a thing right now,
there has been a rumor that that's what they might be doing next, but that was like maybe 2 months ago, so I'm not sure on that.
Didn't they already start that, but just for like a very small selection?
Maybe.
Well, it has no like Pokemon games on there, so it doesn't matter to me. It might as well
there is
not
Pokemon
exist.
Pinball.
A pinball. Actually, what are some great Pokemon side games you've played, or just have
the
fond
Ranger
memories of?
games.
Yeah, Rangers.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Sky.
Of course, Mystery Dungeon. Yeah.
Well, Explorers of Sky
Specifically.
Oh,
okay.
Because Explorers of Sky is the equivalent of Platinum.
Yeah, it really is the platinum of Mystery Dungeon. Although that is
and honestly, I think it's the best Mystery Dungeon out there. The newer Mystery Dungeons, I got burnt when playing Gates to Infinity, and I hate that game because at some point, like, the story just isn't great. I felt like characters, it's like I just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And like at some point they just give you a bunch of dungeons for free. You don't earn them like in Explorers of Sky, where it's like, oh, there's like some special like missions that will like, oh, you've never been to this place before? Do this mission and you basically unlock it.
Mm-hmm.
But in Gates to Infinity, they just give you a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
And also you can pay for a bunch. You can pay for a bunch of like dungeons as DLC in that game.
Oh, you could?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's stupid.
I'd never know because my sister has it, but I've never actually played it myself.
Don't play it.
And something tells me, yeah, I'm not losing out on anything.
There's Pokemon Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
There's Pokemon Battle Revolution. Yeah, that game doesn't have a story, but I enjoyed the shit out of that game.
Yeah, Conquest. That's another big one. And the sequel we're never going to get.
all three Ranger games. So I think Almia is the best.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it has like a decent enough and like enjoyable story.
I don't. I'm asking because all Shadows of Almia is the only Ranger game I've played. Was it just me, or did Almia have some of the toughest early game bosses imaginable?
Yes, it did.
Fuck those Rampardos.
Rampardos, Toxicroak,
The Gliscor.
Drapion,
Infinitely harder than the actual Darkrai at the end of the story.
and also not to mention, rest in peace, all DS screens.
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, if you want to pirate those games, you need a drawing pad and pray that you have enough like plastic tips. Like one of the games that a lot of people were playing was Almia, because we were able to bring our DSs around that time.
Yeah.
Before they stopped allowing it.
Mm-hmm.
One like an upperclassman, he did. I didn't really like him. He was kind of an ass to me at times. But what really made me feel good
Yeah.
is because around that time, I beat Toxicroak. He didn't. And guess what? He asked me, hey, can you beat this Toxicroak for me? And I'm like,
It's the one time when
alright, motherfucker, sure.
you were able to show your power.
I think one of the things that he said to me, even, like, and this was maybe first, second grade, he said, like at that age, it's like, oh, shit, Ian's got hairy legs, and I'm like, and that was uncalled for, but, like, when I think back to it, I'm like, did I? I don't remember.
I pretty much always had just hair on my arms and legs
Yeah.
ever since, like, first grade. And, of course,
I basically got Wolverine, like,
yeah,
hairy
you have
arms.
Wolverine arms. And then, once middle school hit, like, my puberty went into hyperdrive really early, all at once.
Ugh.
So, for 6th grade, I was de facto the tallest kid. And then immediately, everyone else caught up to me.
You were like, well, it was nice while it lasted.
Yeah, it was alright.
Also, this dude's a creep, kind of, but you kind of get to like him.
Holy shit.
This dude's kind of a freak, but you kind of get to like him, I will say.
He's got a nice-ass suit. Reminds me of an ad I saw, or a poster for the Pocky Sticks. It was 3 elderly gentlemen in these red suits, each holding up a little stick. But it was funnier because they were all like 3 elderly men that looked like mobsters, and they were just holding up a little stick of cookie and chocolate. I was like, these guys probably threw some bodies in the river, but even they love their little chocolate snacks once in a while. You know, the simple pleasures in life.
Yeah. Anyway, though, actually, let's go back to Almia, because I do kind of want to continue talking about that.
Do you still have more to talk about, Almia?
Well, I love Shadows of Almia. I love that game. That was actually the first
so
Ranger
did I,
game.
but like, I didn't love it that much. What did you like? Like, what more do you have to say about it?
I don't know. I just liked it. I liked the characters. You know, like the first Rangers that you kind of like work with.
Oh yeah,
Like
in the
those
school.
3. When I played Almia, you know the three bosses, like the blue, yellow, and pink.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I thought those were evil like they were like the 3 like Rangers that you worked with at the beginning were mind controlled, and those were those 3.
Oh.
For some reason.
Well, I mean, one of them was named Heath and Keith.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, it was just like a cool set, like it was just like cool settings where it's like, oh, you get to catch Heatran, Cresselia,
Yeah.
Lucario, final boss is Darkrai. Not to mention, Almia was like probably the first game I ever completed, like 100% completed.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, because like they have like special like challenges at like this ranger base.
Oh yeah, they did.
I did all of those.
I
completed like the Pokedex in that game.
I never did any of that. I
You
just
ca-
finished
you
the story and I was
catch,
done.
You catch like Celebi and Regigigas as like the final 2 Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
There was actually special like events where you could get a Shaman and a Darkrai,
I
a
remember
Dialga
those.
and
Yeah.
a Palkia from those. I sadly never did those. I don't think I remember seeing them.
You know what's something little about those games that I love a bunch?
What?
It's Pichu's overworld animation. The way the Pichu in that game just run around looks like there's these lolly dolly da. I've heard a lot
Guardian Signs, I feel like
mixed
my
reviews on that.
I feel like Guardian Sign was maybe the weakest one. It's not bad, but it's definitely the weakest.
It does have
I do love on how Pichu just goes ham.
this cute
just
little
like,
ukulele Pichu mascot. Even though you're going berserk on a ukulele of all things.
Though it was cool to be riding like Entei, Raikou, and Suicune like around the region.
Speaking of ukulele, do you remember in high school when there were those two guys that would just walk through the halls during passing period playing the ukulele?
Maybe a little. I think I remember like a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah, I still remember those two guys. I wonder how they're doing.
Oh,
This
that
guy.
was the fastest quick time event.
That guy does not like ukuleles. Don't ever bring up a ukulele. My ex played one, and I never got over her. What the fuck is this guy doing?
I told you the dude was crazy. Uh-oh.
You know how you had to...
Oh!
Ouch.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, those eyes. They pretty much laser right through my soul.
I wonder where Majima gets the craziness from in the later games.
Speaking of laser eyes, did I tell you, every time I see a blue car in town, I pretend to shoot it down with laser eyes?
Why? What you got? What you got against the color blue, huh?
No, it's only blue, like, sedans. Because my ex drove one. So every time I see it, I'm just reminded of her. And I pretend to blow it up with laser eyes. Big Sag, because as of this week, we get the news that Sana will be graduating.
For no reason given.
Probably
Which I
nothing.
posted a meme where it's like, don't ask a woman her age, a man her salary, or Hololive fans
What happened in July.
Was that a year ago?
Yeah.
When,
Coco
Yeah.
also retired. Yeah, that was about a year ago.
damn, it's only been a year. It feels like longer.
Yeah. You know the whole thing of once is an event, two is a coincidence, three is a pattern, or the start of a pattern. We're having two big booba members of Hololive that
Of course you
graduated
put
in
it as
July.
like that.
And like, we're at two so far, which is just a coincidence. If we get a third that happens next year, there is a conspiracy going on. Sana was great, even though I didn't watch her that much, because she was like the one big Pokemon fan. You know she's a hardcore fan when, oh shit. When she spent over 20 hours in total on stream, shiny hunting Rayquaza in Shining Pearl. And she was so heckin' excited when it happened.
I try getting into shiny hunting a little bit, but I just don't have the patience.
If you want to shiny hunt, just
to do it,
play Legends Arceus a shit ton.
I think I think the first time that I actually did try a shiny hunt was to get a shiny Froakie. Because shiny Greninja was a black ninja, and I'm like, oh, that's badass as hell. I gotta get me one.
After
I just, and you had one.
well, I didn't hatch one. I traded one because after, I kid you not, 1,000 Froakie eggs, I just snapped. Went to the GTS. Some dude in Germany has a shiny Greninja, and they want a Zapdos level 70 and over. Fucking deal.
A Zapdos level 70 or above?
Yeah.
For a shiny Greninja?
Yeah. Which is oddly specific.
Oddly specific.
Why do you want a Zapdos of all things?
I feel like you
But I
have to
didn't
trade a shiny for a shiny.
I didn't question it, so I just went ahead and got it.
I also did try a shiny hunt, a shiny Pumpkaboo.
Yeah.
And actually, so I had the best way to get a shiny Pumpkaboo was what was it called? The Friend Safari?
Yeah.
Uh,
At the time. before
You
all
want
these
to know
new
how I
methods.
got a friend safari with a Pumpkaboo?
How?
Google Plus.
Really?
Yeah.
You got it through Google Plus?
Yeah, I got a friend like
Will you
I went on to Google Plus. This was high school.
Will you stop fiddling with the mic? But anyway.
It was in high school, and I was like, I want to try to get a shiny Pumpkaboo, because Fates also came out at that time, and a shiny Gorgeist looks specifically like a specific character.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, yeah, sure, let's try a shiny hunt. And the best way to shiny hunt a Pumpkaboo
At the time was through the friend safaris.
Friend safari. And I'm like, okay, how can I get a friend code? Because none of the friend codes that I got were ghost types. So I was like, alright, let's try Google Plus. Someone actually saw my post and it's like, hey, can I get your friend safari code? And he's like, sure. And that's how I got it. I'm like, damn.
You could have had a high value, like, friend code if your, like, friend safari was like had like the right Pokemon. I had a pretty low value code because my 3DS code gave you a bug type friend safari, and I was like, oh, fuck this.
I still have my X file that I started when the game first came out in like 8th grade middle school.
Do you know what warped
which I beat Pokemon X within a day.
You know what warped my perception of time? Was when I realized I logged in over 300 hours of Pokemon X and like, where the fuck did the time go? How have I already played 300 hours?
Yeah. I think I also put maybe around 300 hours into it.
You want me to tell you a little secret that it's been happening ever since X and Y came out? Was that this whole ass time I was trying to also breed a shiny Pumpkaboo to give you, but one never showed up. So like every December I was like, now, come on! It's for his birthday! No!
Did you ever get Pokerus?
A couple of times, yeah. I've got a lot of Pokemon.
Did you ever get Pokerus during like when you were playing through the story? Not after you beat the Elite Four, but before.
I think I did that once.
I think I did once, but it was when I was just playing Platinum at some point for like fun again.
Mm-hmm. I've had a lot of just funny shiny moments. Like one time I was collecting parcels that people dropped in the game, and then as soon as I got over them, the game closed itself because of an unexpected error. I opened up it again and all the parcels were uncollected because I didn't save, and I was like, fine, no. I'll pick up all these fucking parcels again. And as soon as I did that, I was thinking to myself, I did a good thing, Santa. I deserve a free shiny for picking up those parcels again. And right as I say that, a shiny Rufflet appears in front of me. I was like, whoa, I was just kidding, but I'll take it away. Did they just page us already, even though we were just there a second ago?
Yep. That was fast.
That's some fucking fast service. Jeff Beeswax could wish he had service like that. Actually, that's something I kind of want from Amazon. I want the opposite of Amazon Prime, where
it just takes the longest.
It's cheaper, but then it takes like an extra couple weeks for something to come in. Because a lot of stuff I don't need immediately.
Well, wouldn't it maybe take, like, if they're holding on to it, it would just be taking up space, and then you'd have to pay for that?
Maybe. It's more like, I don't want it to, like, get rushed over to me. This is also for the people that actually have to work in all those warehouses. Like, just relax. You don't have to skedaddle an entire football field just to get my...
And piss in a bottle.
Yeah. You can just relax your way over and get it to me, just whenever you're ready. I can wait. If it's something that I actually do need a lot, then I'll just go to the store and grab it myself. That's... What the... Oh, that's your actual phone.
Yeah.
I thought that was in-game. I'm like, that sounds really different from the ringtone that we get normally.
We suspended your aim.
What?
Oops.
Did you just... Okay. Speaking of Amazon, someone tried to hack into his account right now.
Let's just... And we'll just cut it. We'll just end this episode for right now.
Okay. Do you want to end this episode or cut back in?
We'll just end this episode and...
Okay.
Or we'll just cut back.
Well, I think 40 minutes, that's a good stop. So,
we'll see you next time.
Next time then. Jeff Bezos is trying to